It was really awesome. I texted a few friends and I asked them. They were a part of the Ben Simmons return game, and then my friend Danny was a part of Kawhi Leonard's return game to San Antonio, and we talked about a few of those in comparison to this, and everything that came back was like those guys really wanted to be out. Like they made us think of being out. Luka was blindsided by it just out of nowhere. So all the petty that came out with the Gatorade commercial was incredible, with the towel saying "traitor" across it. The build up with the intro video, like to me, I thought it was a little bit, were they trying to psych him out? Like I was thinking of basketball, like if this was like a psych out pitch, that they're trying to throw at him. Like he was welling up, that was deep. And the t-shirts were totally uncalled for. I don't know how you do that. Like you guys sent him away. How do you sign off on these t-shirts? That's stupid, just stupid. But all of the pageantry that came with that game, it was covered so well. And rarely does the game and the performance of the player live up to that hype, because there's such emotion and such like groundswell of noise around it, that usually, like you could see in the first couple of minutes, like the Lakers guys were like, all right, we're going to try to get him going right now. And it didn't really get going till he got a few switches and buckets. But once the floodgates open, man, you could tell like he just has it. And I texted with a few people on the Lakers staff, and like the one thing that came back was like he's special. He's a one of one. Like there's nothing like his mentality and his mindset. Like him and LeBron are in the same camp when it comes to that. And to see him really like go out there and have his moment, and have Nico sit there in the tunnel and have to watch all of it, I loved it, man. It was so incredible.
It was incredible. And I think I've made this point on the show, but maybe not. I've certainly said it on air before somewhere, but there are players who you're just not surprised that they step up to the moment. And one of the big examples of this was Kobe Bryant's last game. He scored 60 points. Of course he did. He's like a type of guy that was a big moment. It's the send-off. Did it take him 40 shots or whatever to get there? Yes, but he was going to have a memorable moment when he knew the moment called for it. And Luka's the exact same guy. Like you just knew, pencil him in for 45, because you know he's a guy who is going to show up for this one. And yes, tears, emotions, distractions, jump ball, and he's locked in right away. And it's like, of course he's going to deliver in this moment. I think there's something special about, plus there's some players that you just know will meet it. And I think there's something that tells you something about them.
He's absolutely one of those. And like I played in Europe and I played against some EuroLeague teams. And the fact that this dude was 18 years old and the MVP of EuroLeague just tells you like where he's at mentally in terms of how much professional basketball he's played, how the odds have been stacked against him. Because like when you go through that kind of journey, you're starting off as a towel boy, like nobody's looking for you. And then you go in these arenas and you're not getting calls, like you're getting bumped on everything. And like he just kept churning and churning and churning. And the fact that he's like come from that, you see his first couple of playoff series. I mean, he went up against Kawhi, Paul George, Pat Beverly, like they had no answers for him, like on the road in Phoenix, like just absolutely took that team's throat. So he's built for that type of stuff. And there was no doubt that he was going to show up here. Now he might've gone 0 for 12 from 3, but he definitely wasn't going to go 0 for 2. Like he was going to let it rip, and they were going to back him to be like, this is your moment. Like go step on their throat. And it just totally the right player to meet that moment. And he's just absolutely special.
You're right, though, that the Lakers had his back in this one, and I do think that's kind of an important thing. That's one of the things I thought, where they're all playing hard for this moment to allow him the stage to do what he did last night, and that was big. But the game was electric itself for a half. The third quarter, the Lakers started to pull away, but there were some big plays, and I thought Dallas met the moment too. There were emotional, big-time defensive plays. The Lakers are just better than Dallas right now, obviously without Kyrie Irving, but I thought the game itself was kind of interesting. So what stood out about the game?
Yeah, no matter how Nico Harrison put this roster together, how he acquired the players, you can at least see the vision. And the vision is we want to be, and you might not agree with the vision, but there is a vision there. Like we want to be one of the bigger lineups. We want to be able to go double big. And you could see there were stretches in the second half where Gafford and Anthony Davis really dominated the offensive glass, the defensive glass. They got anything they wanted. Lively was in the mix for there. But the thing is, in order to do that, you have to be able to survive in today's NBA with pick and roll coverages. And to have two big guys out on the floor, you're not going to play a lot of coverage schemes because the spacing and the shooting out there, there's a lot of room that you have to cover in terms of help to rotate, help to X out, things like that. And big guys aren't known for being able to cover those spaces. So the one thing that Dallas does do is they try to switch these pick and rolls to keep their shell intact, to not have big guys running on these long closeouts. And Luka Doncic is not the guy to do that to. They switched 57% of their pick and rolls last night on Doncic, and he's not the one, because he sees a big and it's barbecue chicken time. He is cooking and he licks his lips when he sees it. He's like, this is perfect. Rudy Gobert last year in the playoffs. He saw Anthony Davis got it last night. Anytime they switched lively on him, it was to his spots, whether it was pull-ups, whether it was layups, step back threes, anything he wanted. So you can see this vision for Dallas and you know that it's possible, but the Lakers are that matchup, and Luka specifically, that you just can't switch a big onto him. And you saw it in OKC with Hartenstein the other day. You can't do it. He's built to destroy those matchups. And it really takes what Dallas wants to do out of their comfort zone, because you can't go double big. And if you only go single big with how they're constructed, well, that's not really what they're meant to do. That's not their advantage. And I think at times when Luka was on the bench, they were able to survive switching those screens. But anytime he was back in the game, he was so sharp in those actions last night. 1.346 points per direct on pick and roll. Like that's a outlandish number. So to me, that was the story of it. And that was really the thing that took Dallas out of, this is our advantage of being big, but the Lakers really neutralized that with Luka in the pick and roll.
As great as he is in the pick and roll, you still need teammates who read the court to his tendencies. How do you screen? How do you move off things? How do you space? When do you cut? All this different stuff. I'm pretty impressed with how quickly the Lakers have absorbed that. That's one of the things that stands out, is I think the Lakers have really done a good job of figuring out how to play with him.
Yeah, I think it starts with LeBron. And it starts with LeBron. I was on here when they played Charlotte, and Legs and I were here. You were on vacation, baking in the sun, doing your thing, pina coladas. And Legs was pretty, we were both on the same page of, it's going to have to be Luka. But he wasn't in shape. He wasn't ready. And you could see LeBron was still trying to do it. But Luka can't do the roll off the ball. He's not built to do it right now. And LeBron can. And one thing that I think LeBron should get so much credit for in this situation is he has really passed the torch. He has become an off-ball mover. He has become a closeout attacker. He has become an offensive rebounder. He has found pockets to get into to move the ball. There was the one possession last night where it looked like he was just playing around with a few kids. I think it was late in the fourth, and LeBron was everywhere. Offensive rebound, pass here, pass there. He gets so much credit in my mind for making this Lakers thing move, because as soon as he decides, hey, this is what we're doing, we're playing off of Luka's action, we're moving to Luka's rhythm, everybody else is going to fall in line. And you're right, everybody does have to fall in line, but it comes from LeBron's, I think,